Hi, this is Bill Vick. I'm talking to my friend Brian Trzaskos. Brian is the founder, director of the Institute of Rehabilitative Tai Chi and Qigong. And Brian, I'm doubly excited to talk to you this morning because, first, what you do and how you do what you do as it applies to the world of pulmonary fibrosis, which is my interest in speaking with you. I think has the ability to change lives in dramatic ways. And just by a fast overview, as you know, I'm an IPF patient. I'm one of 135,000 people that have pulmonary fibrosis. And we're also I'm one of the 135,000 people that are always looking for ways to live better with this disease. So it's about living, not dying from pulmonary fibrosis. And I think Qigong, Tai Chi are maybe a little esoteric for some of us in our community. But I personally have been involved in Tai Chi, Qigong for some time. Patty, my wife, Patty and I get up every morning. We go through a Qigong routine. I personally think it's helped me in living better with pulmonary fibrosis. I think it's part of the reason I've been stable now for over 5 years. So I wonder if you take a moment and introduce yourself and what you do and a little bit about Qi and Qigong and Tai Chi.
Oh, sure, Bill. I'd love to. And thank you so much for having me, do this interview. I love the opportunities that we've had in the past to talk with each other have been really invigorating, have been really exciting, and mutually collaborative in a really great way. So I really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you and share what we do at the IRQTC. So the Institute for Rehabilitative Qigong and Tai Chi is what we're really focused on is kind of bridging the gap between Western rehabilitative practices and these ancient Eastern practices, and looking at them through the light of science and physiology, and asking ourselves, how can these ancient practices be really beneficial for people that are dealing with modern pathologies and modern diseases? And there's some great science, there's some really great research that's showing that both Qigong and Tai Chi can be so helpful for many different conditions, and pulmonary conditions are one of the ones that's been researched fairly well, and looking at seeing some really good results with those types of folks that are dealing with pulmonary issues. The idea about Qigong, a lot of people want to know, a lot of people have heard about Tai Chi before, and that's because it's been in the Western culture a little bit longer. The idea that Tai Chi is actually a martial art, but it's a slow-moving martial art practice that we often see people practicing in the park, in big groups, and it's widely known that it can be great for a wide number of things. Now, Qigong, which is a little less known, the way we spell Qigong is Qigong. That's how we would spell it. There's lots of different spellings for it, but traditionally that's the way we would spell it. And actually, Tai Chi is a form of Qigong. We like to say that Qigong is the mother and Tai Chi is one of the daughters of Qigong. And that's because Tai Chi has all of the elements in it that Qigong has as a broad overview. So if we want to break down that word for a second, Qigong, Qi, the Qi, that's actually historically and culturally from the ancient Chinese, the word that is for universal life force energy, or the energy that animates everything in the universe. So it's the energy that makes grass grow and flowers bloom and babies cry and birds fly and deer run and planets even circling in orbit, right? So anything that's animated is a function of Qi. And by nature, because of that, Qi can't actually be measured in and of itself, but it has functions like wind and water and running and crying and different types of things. But the other really interesting thing, and I think you'll find this fascinating, is that Qi is also the word for breath. So in the Chinese culture, it's both the word for universal life force energy or animating energy, and also the word for breathing. So the ancient Chinese, what they recognize is that, at least in organic structures, is that what made the organic structures animated was that they were breathing. And as soon as they weren't breathing anymore, they were no longer animated. So the breath is actually the function of life in the body. any living structures, like they have to be breathing, right? Whether it's animal or whether it's human, whatever it is, but the breath is literally what brings life into the body. So I just thought that was fascinating. We're talking about pulmonary conditions, IPF, and that the breath is so critical for that, and it's also the word for energy and qi. Now, gong, the other side of that word, G-O-N-G, means practice, cultivation, work, nurturing, something like that. So when you put qi and gong together, what you're doing is you're doing a breath practice, or a breath nurturing, or you're doing a breath practice to nurture energy, right? That's kind of the idea with qigong. So 5,000 years ago, that's what these folks in ancient China were practicing. They were doing things with their breathing in order to enhance their life. So if you want to just kind of nut it down, that's what qigong is really all about.
That's incredible. I never knew that, and I've been around, I think, this whole area for a little bit of time, and that's a revelation. So if I understand this correctly, qigong is really for guys and gals like me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's for guys and gals of all sorts and types. Dealing with all kinds of things, ranging from doing rehabilitation all the way up through wellness practices, and all the way actually even up through athletic practices. Qigong, there's literally 10,000 different forms of Qigong and Tai Chi. It's been around for so long. And what we do at the IRQTC is we specifically take these methods and these forms, and we help create programs for people who are dealing with specific issues, right? Specific issues, whether it's pulmonary rehabilitation, whether it's cardiopulmonary, whether it's even low back pain or shoulder rehab. So we create programs that are Tai Chi and Qigong programs specifically designed to help people deal with what they have most prevalent in their life.
I notice you also deal, I think, with balance issues, which is a large factor to much of our community, because many of our patients, the average pulmonary fibrosis patient, if such a word exists as average, is probably closer to 60 years old, and balance is an issue. And I noticed from my own personal experience, since I've been practicing Qigong, my balance is infinitely better. Maybe I can't walk the tightrope across Niagara Falls, but I don't seem to bump into walls as much or at all, and I can tie my shoelaces with no discomfort or problems. And I attribute that purely to Tai Chi. As far as Western science looking at the whole concept of Qigong, Tai Chi, what is Western science view? Because I know, as an example, some of our community members use things like acupuncture. Is that part of Tai Chi or Qi?
Well, actually, if you look at the idea of the traditional Chinese medicine concept, acupuncture is one of the methods that TCM uses. Acupuncture, herbs, and then Qigong. So the exercise patterns that are utilized with Qigong are actually almost like doing acupuncture on yourself. You're getting the idea of having that vital life force energy moving through the body, through the channels of the body, called meridians. So when you go to an acupuncturist, they are stimulating points on the body to help qi flow balance through meridians in the body. And when you practice Qigong, you're doing that for yourself. You're actually doing self-care practices to get the energy moving through these different meridians, which actually have specific correlation to certain organ systems. There's a meridian for the lungs, there's a meridian for the heart, there's a meridian for the liver, there's meridians for the gallbladder. And so again, when we create these programs, we address the meridians through self-Qigong practices so that people dealing with pulmonary issues can address those lung meridians.
Can I practice Qigong or do Qigong without believing in Qi?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because basically, when we talk about Qigong, we have what we call 4 baskets of practice. So you don't have to believe in Qi at all, but if you do these 4 baskets of practice, you'll be doing something good for yourself. And here are the 4 baskets: movement, self-massage, breathing, and meditation. So when we look at the research around all 4 of those things, we know that all 4 of these things are beneficial. Right? We've known that moderate exercise is hugely beneficial for our health. We know that. Right? We know that breathing deeper down into the abdomen, creating a deeper breath, component is beneficial for us. We know that massage is beneficial for us, right? We know that increases blood flow. We know it changes the tension in the muscular systems, and we certainly know now that meditation is beneficial for us also. So whether you believe in it or not, if you do those four things, movement, massage, breathing, and meditation, you're going to have some self-empowerment tools that are really going to help boost your health.
Is Qigong, Brian, is that something I can learn remotely or virtually, or do I have to actually have somebody kind of hold my hand and lead me through the process?
Well, a lot of people have a lot of different things to say about that, Bill. Some people are pretty staunch. You have to have someone right in the room with you, a master showing you how to do the movements. Other people say, virtual is fine, or DVDs are fine, and those kinds of things are fine. Everyone has valid points to make on all of those ideas. In my experience, the most powerful Qigong practices are when you actually practice, right? When you actually practice. And so you can learn some very simple things from a book, from DVDs, from virtual practice, and or with someone right in front of you. And you learn some simple things, and you just get started, and you start to see these really remarkable benefits in your physiology, in your health. So I don't think there's any right or wrong answer there, but certainly people can learn these things virtually and start practicing with themselves. And some of the programs we do through the IRQTC is we do Skype consults with people, and we were able to help them talk through the process, watch them do the movements or the forms, and do some modifications if necessary. And people seem to have a really great result that way.
How about people that many of our members in our community are on oxygen, supplemental oxygen? Mm-hmm. Can I have oxygen on, or could I be perhaps wheelchair bound and still enjoy and benefit from Qigong?
Absolutely. You can practice Qigong lying down, sitting up, standing up, any position you can practice Qigong in. So certainly there's groups all over the country that are doing seated Qigong and Tai Chi practices. So being in a wheelchair is definitely valid for that practice, and you're going to have benefit. And oxygen as well. We want to make sure that we're managing people's O2 sat levels and these types of things so that they can engage in the practice, get as much flow of oxygen through the body. So yes, oxygen, definitely a great thing to use if necessary when practicing Qigong, and sitting down also very valid.
Well, Brian, it's so exciting what you're doing, and it has so many large applications and ramifications for the pulmonary fibrosis community. If somebody wanted to take the next step, get involved with Qigong, would you be the person they go to, or an organization, or how would that work?
Again, that's a lot of that is personal preference. So, lots of times people, as you mentioned, want to be in a class setting where the teacher is right in front of them. So for those types of folks, there's organizations out there that offer classes all around the country that would be available for people to go to. What we specialize in, of course, is also addressing whatever issue the person is dealing with. So lots of times someone dealing with, say, pulmonary fibrosis or COPD or something of that nature may not feel comfortable in a class full of people that don't have those same issues. And the class may not be catered for them specifically. That's not to say that they can't enjoy it and get a lot of benefit out of it, but lots of times people want to have their specific issues addressed and paid attention to so that they know that they're safe and they're moving forward in a really good way. So through the IRQTC, again, we work with people virtually. We just started creating a program, specifically a Qigong program, specifically for pulmonary conditions, for pulmonary health. And so we've got that. That's going to be coming out as soon as we possibly can get that out there. We're doing some testing with it right now to make sure that it suits people's needs in a way that's really, really valuable.
And is that something that'll be on a DVD, or is it on YouTube, or how do I participate in that?
We'll be offering that as we do all of our programs, Bill, both on streaming and in DVDs. So, you can just get a streaming login and password and go to the website and you just download it that way, or you can do it in DVD, whatever is more comfortable for you, but it's the same program either way.
Excellent. Well, I have to tell you, I'm excited by this, and I know we're going to have additional conversations as time goes on and maybe get into some some more specifics than generalities. But
Yeah.
thank you for the time, Brian, and it's inspired me, and I hope it inspires others.
Bill, again, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about Qigong and Tai Chi and the numerous ways that it can help so many people, especially in the IPF community. So thank you so much.